exercise for weight loss. What's it going to
take?
What is it going to take? You have been pushing us. Trainer Joe, you've been saying, let's do exercise. Let's do it. I think this is a piece that needs to be addressed. So let's launch in and give them everything that they need to know to help them on this weight loss journey, how it can pair with the eating to kick some butt.
What I think would be good for this is people watching, if they're already exercising, it'll encourage them and they'll be like, yeah, that's me. If you're not, I want it to change something in you. Mm-hmm. I want there to be a change in you, because you're either 10 years from now, you're going to be the person that exercised or the person that didn't, right? That one or the other is going to be. How do you become that person? And I talked to a couple of people close to me, as I'm getting ready for this, and it's like, you're my audience, this person that's close to me. You're who I'm trying to convince. What's it going to take? Because in reality, I looked up the 10 top reasons to exercise.
To exercise, okay.
10 top reasons to exercise. And of course, we're into the weight loss piece, but they're all good, right? Better mood, better brain function, more money in your wallet, lower risk of health disease, lower risk of diabetes, lower risk of cancers, longer life, stronger bones, fewer sick days, better grades in school. How many reasons do we really need? I mean, I could do the top 1,000 reasons to exercise, but if somebody's not doing it, obviously that hasn't been a factor, enough of a factor to make it happen. So what has to happen for somebody? Because I've talked to somebody that I thought the exercise was important to them, and they'll be like, well, I haven't really done anything in a month or a year.
Tragic.
And it's like, that's not, can you really say it's important to you if you haven't done it in a year?
No.
A lot of people look at exercise like it's something you do when everything's going well. It's kind of like, everything's going so well, I probably should exercise too. It's like the cherry on top. It's like, but I'm not going to do it if there's any reason not to. I'll do it if everything's lined up right, but once something happens to throw me off, it just makes sense for the mindset they had, which is why they're not doing it in the first place. Because the mindset is, once there's a reason, I'm a little busier than I would like to be, something's going on with my kids, work is extra stressful, they've given me more to do, whatever, anything will be like, oh, well, I was up for it, I was going to do it, but man, I got really busy. And it's like, okay, that person is not going to be, they're a person that wants to exercise, but they're not the kind of person that exercises. And that's what we need to get to. I need to be not a person that exercises, but the kind of person that does it.
Yeah, we see that a lot. On your 21-day transformation, you only require out of them a 20-minute walk a day. You say they can do more, and perhaps you encourage them doing more, but you only require that. What is it that is driving you to breach this subject right now? And real quick, before you even answer that, just know, guys, we are going to get into some practical specifics of what do you recommend someone that wants to take this weight loss into high gear for a weekly exercise regimen. What is something you would lay out for them? I want to get practical.
I will lay that out.
But anyway, so to answer my question, why now?
Well, people come to my group, they want to lose weight. I want them to see what it's going to take to lose weight, and it does not take you doing CrossFit 2 hours a day. But it is going to help if you see the things that work together to make that happen. So we have the program, we have the formula in my 21-day transformation to change the way people think about how they relate to food and weight loss, and it helps them with the breakthrough. But today what I'm doing is, I know lots of people that workout is just not a priority for them, and that doesn't make any sense to me. Whether you want to lose weight or not, I am at a loss for how somebody could be like, I haven't worked out in a year. It's like, okay, let's find out. You can not care.
So ultimately you don't need to get into it too much. Yeah. That's what's motivating you, is the thought of people that kind of say that they're...
Yeah, they could turn the page, and I want to help them do that. They can change the channel on how they live, and I think we can help them do that. In this video, I think we can help people move from, I don't work out, to, oh, well, that makes no sense. Of course I do. And from now on, I am that person. That's what I want to see happen. Who really has a legitimate reason not to work out on a regular basis. Should we change that word, not to exercise, not to work out? I call it a workout. When I'm talking about that, I'm talking about some resistance training that's building your muscles, that's giving you the benefits. When they talk about all these benefits of exercise, part of it is assuming you're doing some resistance training or weightlifting. So that's what we're talking about.
So any reason why that should be
who
happening?
has legitimate reasons not to exercise on a regular basis?
I mean, we were talking about it earlier during our exercise together. It would take a lot to get you or I to stop exercising. And if something crazy happened and suddenly we were down a foot, we lost a leg, we broke an arm, we'd still be finding ways to exercise the other parts of our body because it's such a standard for us.
Right.
And it's not that way for everybody, but for us, it is going to happen multiple days a week.
Do we push that it ought to be that way for everybody? I think so. Because it's like, why wouldn't you? Why would you be the person that says, I don't work out, and here's my reasons? Well, I'm not sure we would be very convinced that those reasons make sense.
Right, and
which is why we're the way we are.
We were talking earlier, your channel is more focused to those on a weight loss journey, helping them find victory in that. We exercise because we believe in the benefits, and it's part of our weekly lifestyle without fail.
Is that it, though? You just said that. Because we believe in the benefits. And I'm wondering, is that why people don't work out? Because they don't believe in the benefits?
Let's come back to that. Yeah. But I was going to say, if you or I were 50 pounds overweight, 70 pounds overweight, would that change the way we view and relate to exercise? And I would say it would be even more of an awesome motivator to kick some butt and lose the weight.
Because if you get to that place. But the fact that you gained that much weight means your mindset certainly hasn't been there.
Okay, fair enough.
So you're going to have to change that. And it may be that you got that heavy and you're like, what happened? I got to change. And that would do it. But
it would excite me even beyond what it is now, what the relationship I have with exercise. It would excite me even more if I had weight to lose and I knew I could pair this with a Trainer Joe 21-day transformation eating program or a different eating program I was doing. To be able to pair this, I'd be pumped. I'd be hitting the gym, the weights with even more enthusiasm.
Well, but you'd be pumped because of the mindset you have now.
Sure, it's true.
Because what I think is if you were actually in that place, you wouldn't have that mindset. You would be struggling. Hopefully, like most people watching that are overweight, and they're like, I've tried, this happens and that happens. So that's the key, to get the brain you have now. Doesn't even allow you to gain that weight.
Interesting.
But if somehow, let's say you chose to gain the weight, because there is that one guy that did that. He was a trainer and he gained weight on purpose.
Fit to fat to fit.
Yeah, you could do that. Then that would make sense. Now you're excited to lose it. But no, if you just found yourself 50 pounds overweight one day, the thought that you're now I'm so excited to lose it is not.
All right, fair enough.
Not likely to be the case.
Enough. Interesting. That's an interesting perspective.
Which is why you're not 50 pounds overweight, because you don't have that. You would not do that. So we're trying to help people that think differently than we do.
Okay.
And what we're going to say is, you're the one that needs the adjustment. Okay, it's not us. We say it in love.
Say it in love.
We don't have the mindset that needs adjusting unless this is an idol, an issue, and it might be. But what we're going to stay with is, what do you need to do to move from the person that says, I haven't worked out for a year, to the person that says, that would never happen to me.
Unless it's an idol, you're talking about like idolizing being
fit. You're just it's all vanity for you, right?
But so that's not what we're
we covered that recently.
So
go back and watch. You want to talk about vanity? We did a video on that. So what has to happen? A few things come to my mind. One, you mentioned, stop saying that I have a goal to exercise. Forget that. And I've talked about the lady that did my program that was in the military, and she said in the military it was a standard. And she understood that I can't just desire to work out. It can't be a goal. It needs to be a standard. It's who I am. And that's one thing that needs to change for people, or they're going to have any reason to get them to not do it. So it becomes a standard. I am that person. And even if I lose a foot, I still work out. Even if I'm, poor, I still work out. Even if my kids aren't doing well, I still work out, because it's who you are. Because all of those things would rightly cause you to not work out if that's not the person who you are.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
It's who you are.
Some things you can do to help you, because there are times where I'm not that person, but I know I should be and I want to be. What do you need to do then? Get a coach, get accountability, right? To help you, because it's like, I want to be, I don't have it in me.
Yeah.
Then it's your responsibility to get a coach that's going to be there to nudge you on until you're that person.
That's fair. I think that's a fair thing, is to recognize I'm not where I want to be, but I believe I can get there. How do I bridge that gap? And you would suggest get a coach until it becomes who you are.
Yeah.
And maybe still, even after it becomes who you are.
If
It never hurts to
if
have
you
a
need it
coach.
the rest of your life, then why wouldn't you have that the rest of your life? Well, I don't have that much money. Bull. You will find the money to do the things that are most important to you. And you've got to get past whether you have the money or not. That's bull. And most people know it. I remember when I sold books door to door, and it was a long time ago, and I was with this guy, and we were in this home, and I didn't think the people had much money, but when they said, well, we can't afford $20 a month, and you got to have compassion for that, you know.
Yep.
But the guy that I was with, he pointed out to me the satellite dish they had
Oh, no.
in their yard. It was as big as a NASA spacecraft satellite dish, and it was like, it's really priorities. You know, you can spend it on this or spend it on that. One thing I notice is some people will have an immaculate home, right? And they have a treadmill in their garage that has dust all over it, and they never use it. And it's like, okay, you can be known as the person that has a clean house, or the person that's fit that put their treadmill in their TV room. You know, it's like we have all these reasons why it's not going to work for us. I don't want that where everybody's going to see it. Okay, well, that's your priority. Mm-hmm. But you probably ought to move the treadmill out of the cold garage into someplace you can use it. If you get on it every day in your garage, problem solved. If you don't, move it to a warmer room where you're going to be willing to get on it, right? You've got. Do you have exercise equipment? Well, I'm not going to spend money on exercise equipment. I don't have any place to put it. Bull. You just don't want to use your living room to put any equipment in, and that's fine. You're the person that had an organized home. You had a clean home, and you died way too young because it just wasn't that important to you. You tell me. You
No, don't.
change the emphasis there.
No, I got no change.
Yeah, what does it take for you to miss a workout?
Oh, I got to be feeling really sick. I mean, that's like the one thing that comes to mind.
Well, don't you get real busy? Aren't you busy?
Mm-hmm.
Then how do you find time to work out?
I just do. I make it one of the biggest priorities of my day.
Well, you must not be busy. Because isn't that the excuse so many people give? I don't have time. Obviously, they're busier than you. Now, what I would say is...
Not true.
What I would say is look at everything you did this week. 500 little tasks you did. And when you look and you say, well, exercise wasn't in there. Can we just say, there are a whole lot of things in your life more important than exercise. And one might even say, all of these things were more important.
Voice crack.
All of these things. So put your equipment where you're going to do it. Join the gym. Get whatever you need. Quit acting like you don't have time or money. Who does? I mean, come on. You know what's interesting? When people start complaining about time and money, is somehow they had the time and money for cheesecake. If you got the time and money to eat cheesecake, you got the time and money to exercise.
Okay, so ultimately you're kicking people in the butt.
You got time to eat, you got time to exercise. How many people say, I was just so busy and so much on my mind, I didn't eat today? Never, ever. Now, they didn't eat till late, but late came and they shoved enough food down the gullet to make up for 3 days of being busy. So you're going to find time to eat.
Yeah.
But, I didn't have time to walk for 20 minutes or do a 20-minute workout. And I'm like, I can't work out in 20 minutes. Yeah, you can. Now, sometimes I'm downstairs in my gym for 2 hours, but I'm sending emails, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm working out, I'm resting, I'm doing all that. But you could do it in 20 minutes. But you haven't decided yet, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And then once you do that and suddenly you're really, really busy, you do a quick one in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And one thing I found, Paul, and you may agree with this, How many times do you work out and it was an A+ workout compared to how many times do you work out and you say, well, it was a B, but I got it in?
Probably sits more B pluses.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
And then sometimes I'll come up from downstairs and my wife will say, how was your workout? I'll say, it was a B. It's rarely an A+. Because, like Mark Wahlberg said, he said, I stay in shape so I don't have to get in shape.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want to have to start all over? And these poor people that have an injury or something, and they allow it to move them out of their exercise routine for 6 weeks. And it's like, really? You couldn't do anything? You couldn't get in the pool? You couldn't get on a bike?
Yeah.
You couldn't walk? You couldn't do some crunches or something? It's like, that's how we do.
So you have kicked them in the butt, in the pants, and they are now like, you're right. Shame on me. It's time to get my butt in gear. Trainer Joe, can you tell me so that I can accompany my eating plan? Let's say they're doing your eating plan. They're sticking to your food list that is in your book, or that they can find going through the 21-day transformation. It's all about it.
We don't hide it.
So they know the eating side of it. Trainer Joe, I don't just want to walk 20 minutes a day. I want to go beyond that. Tell me what to do in the gym. Tell me what to do in the gym.
If you don't already have, great question. I'm going to lay it out. If you don't already have a good knowledge of how to exercise correctly, lift weights, do resistance training, get a coach. If you already know how, fine, don't get a coach. But if you don't, you need to get a coach.
Okay.
When I first started this, I got a coach. You got a coach. Mm-hmm. My wife got a coach. We all wanted to learn how to exercise in a way that we can do it forever. Do that. You may need to do, I would say, a minimum of 10 sessions, and you may decide I need to be with this person for a year or the rest of my life. One of those options.
Can they go via YouTube? Typing in like a YouTube coach of No.
At first, you need somebody that can watch you, that can talk to you, that can hear about your issues, the pains you have. You need somebody that's recommended, and it's not going to be cheap if you don't already know how to do it. Now, it might be cheap. When I first started, I offered my services for free because to pastors. I said, any pastor that wants me to work with them, I'll work with them for free. And everything I did was really cheap. So if you find somebody kind of new that's sharp, you can get it for cheaper. But you need somebody that knows what they're doing that'll coach you.
Okay, all right.
Then what you're going to find is you're going to want to get your whole body involved. So to do that, there's basically 4 exercises. A push, like a push-up. A pull, like a pull-up. Some leg work, like a squat or a deadlift, which if you're 90, there's ways of doing that are totally safe. Okay, so you learn how to do it totally safe. So push, a pull, legs, and a core. Something that's helping your core. And what you do with those other 3 might take care of that where you don't even need to think about that. But those are the 4 things you do. You want your whole body being worked 3 times a week. Now, of course, there are people that say, well, I want to work out every day. Great. But you don't have to do that. You can do like we do.
I was about to ask you, what's yours look like?
It takes me about an hour to do what I do, but I usually take an hour and a half to 2 hours to do it because I'm relaxed. I'm slow. I'm sending emails. I'm listening to music and podcasts. So, But I do a push, I do a pull, I do leg, and I do core. That's what I do.
Like every 3 days a week, every one of those,
3
Monday,
days a
Wednesday,
week,
Friday, you're doing all of those
time.
Groups?
And I can do it in 30 minutes. An hour, I can do it relaxed. So that's what I do. And in my opinion, that's what everyone should do. Unless you don't have arms, then just do the leg part. And if you don't have legs, do the arm part. I mean, what do you want to say? That's how you should do it. You are a human being with a body that was fearfully and wonderfully made, that's capable of doing the most amazing things in the world. You got a brain, you got eyes, you got things that need to be moved and pushed and pulled. So there you go. Do it 3 days a week, like you and me. If I miss, it's usually because I decided to miss. Isn't that you? I hear people that are encouraging people to exercise and that will say, don't go to the gym if you have a fever. Otherwise, go. And I've got a friend, he goes to the Y, he's in the 70s. He said, Joe, I go every day. He said, regardless how I feel, because I don't want to get out of the routine. So it's a mindset, right?
It's a mindset. Okay, so trying to lose the weight, you're on a good eating plan. Trainer Joe says, get a trainer that will really tailor it to you and your needs. But beyond that, maybe you've had trainers in the past and you know how to work out. Don't feel like that's necessary. 3 days a week, about an hour each of those days, and you're hitting all the major muscle groups.
Yeah, now let's qualify. If you're a farmer and you're constantly building fences and farms and milking cows and slaughtering chickens, you probably don't need to do that. If you're a construction worker, you probably don't need to do that.
The majority of people that watch your channel probably are not.
Yeah, and on the days
active.
And on the days you don't do that workout that I said, you should still be active. You know, and the new thing for us has been pickleball, and I'm like, man, I feel better than ever, and I got to eat more food because I'm adding.
You didn't say this,
to that.
So you're saying that they should do something every day?
Well, no, but I don't think an hour 3 times a week means you're an active person. So there's working out, and then there's are you an active person, and that kind of showed me because I was doing my workout, but I was like, other days sometimes I don't do a whole lot. Most days I go for a walk, and then I did those weightlifting routine that I have. But I found, I'm not especially active. If you look at a grade point, because some people are hiking all the time, biking all the time, even if it's just cutting their grass, and it's pretty active for them. And so when I started doing pickleball, I noticed that was a real benefit.
So bonus if you can get some movement in every day.
Yeah, yes. You look at the time frame, and I think you're going to find most when you look up what's recommended for exercise. I believe it's like an hour a day, 7 days a week. So 7 hours a week. You need to probably be getting in around that much. You can look it up. But the problem is, for most people, they're doing nothing. Nothing. And they're trying to decide. Once you've decided, I'm the person that exercises, now you start fine-tuning it. Because I had to get you out of the bed, then I had to get you to walk.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to get you to do this.
All right, we get it. So
then you start picking up on the nuances of, how do I want to do this exactly?
For those like me that are extremely practical and want to leave this video, Trainer Joe, tell me exactly what to do. Here we go. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're doing the full body, major muscle groups.
Like a push-up would be the push. A pull-up or any cable pull would be a pull. A plank would be your core. And
squats.
Then something for legs would be, you could do squats with weights. You can do them with you're just holding dumbbells, and you call them thrusters, where you go down and up. And yes, you can YouTube that to find out, but I would get a coach if you're not sure how to do them correctly.
You can do body weight, squats. Okay, so there you go. Should last you around 45 minutes to an hour, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then the other days, get a 20-minute walk-in, 20-minute jog, something, hike to where you're still moving for.
And what are your goals? Is your goal to lose a significant amount of weight every week? Then you can pick up that walking is huge for that. Then the walking, and pick up your walking to 30 minutes every day. If you're not trying to do that and you play pickleball, then you probably don't need to go for a walk.
Okay. I think we got it. A lot of information there.
Bottom line, remove any excuse you have for not being a regular exerciser. That is crazy. To put yourself in that category and say, that's who I am.
Write it on a little, whatever, paper. Stick it on your refrigerator or on your mirror. It's crazy not to exercise today. Get your butt out there and exercise today.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Comment below, you guys. What do you think? Has exercise been a part of your weekly habits, or has it not? And be honest with us in the comments. Let's encourage each other. Why has it not been? And are you going to get your butt in gear and start making it a standard?
Yeah. Share something. We want to hear from you.
We want to hear from you. What do you guys think of this video? Let us know. All right, guys. Be blessed. Until next time, Trainer Joe. Train your brain.
And transform your body.